Not only did this man leave them with a huge hole in their front door, it also left the owners with a $500 repair bill. You'll see a lot of snow on the ground, on the grass here, but on the roads, it's a different story. They're mainly just wet. You can see on this side, the southbound lane side, it's still closed. No drivers can get through this way. However, they have one lane open. This tractor trailer is still out here, and I want you to see some of this mangled metal behind me. Hundreds of young girls learn how to act like young ladies tonight. Just to give you a better look, I wanted to show you the front of the building here. The hole he hit was nearly 3 feet wide. That's about the width of this yardstick. This is actually part of the roof that fell to the ground after last night's tornado. The city is just going to be replacing the symbols on this side of Meadow where cars are parked. The level here at Pony Pasture is a little over 3.5 feet.
A fishing trip turned deadly this afternoon when a man drowned in a private pond.
Now, as the price of crude oil started to go up towards the end of this month, so did the price of gasoline. They like to have somewhere to go, somewhere to skate, and somewhere to ride that brings the whole community together. Right now, she just has her eyes set on watching Oscar compete in the 4x400 meter relay. Researchers say it's like driving the length of a football field completely blind. Crews have been working out here for hours. Right now, they actually have 2 cables set up on this side of the tractor trailer to hopefully pull it up in the right position here, maybe in about an hour or so. Now, police tell me the driver of that tractor trailer was heading north on Laburnum Avenue when it hit the edge of the road here. There's a lot of construction going on, so there are steep drop-offs on each side. They say the driver lost control, and that's when he overturned here in the center lane. And you can see on this side, the southbound lane side, it's still closed. No drivers can get through this way. However, they have one lane open over here on the northbound side of Laburnum. You can still see a lot of construction going on here, so police just want to remind people to be careful as they're going through this area. They also tell me the driver of that tractor trailer is expected to be okay. There still are charges pending, and they hope to have this cleaned up in about an hour or so. Of course, we'll continue to bring you updates, and Tracy has more as far as alternate roads people can take this morning. Tracy? Police are hoping this story makes all women pay a little more attention to their purses while they're out and about. It took only a few seconds for these thieves to lift the victim's wallet. Then they were off and running, racking up hundreds of dollars on her dime. After hearing about the shoplifting crime, Marlo Redwood and her friend have their guards up and their purses protected.
Look at my wallet is like right here. One time, let me zip my bag up. That's why I keep my pocketbook close to me.
Police say that's smart, especially after a customer became a target last Tuesday evening. Police say she was shopping here at Costco when somebody reached into her bag and stole her wallet inside. Within an hour, someone had already charged $1,500 on her credit card at this Target about a half a mile away. Target surveillance photos show the 2 suspects. One appears to be in his 40s, wearing a long-sleeved pink dress shirt, glasses, and a baseball cap. He racked up the costly bill. The other is younger, possibly in his early 20s. He's wearing a polo shirt, but his charges were declined.
Well, and the thing is, if you look at the pictures, neither of these 2 gentlemen would have looked suspicious to anyone. It's really a matter of just keeping track of your own belongings.
Chesterfield Police Detective Kevin Bacon isn't sure if the woman left her purse in the cart or if she was wearing it before the theft.
Keep your purses secure. Never leave your purses or wallets while you're shopping.
I usually cross it over like this.
But this can go around my shoulder, and if I do, I keep it up front.
That's why Redwood and other women out here will keep a close eye on their purses so they don't become a target. Costco is usually crowded, especially between 5 and 6 p.m. when this crime occurred. So if you saw anything, you're encouraged to call Crime Solvers. You can remain anonymous, and that number is 748-0660. I'm Tayleigh Davis for NBC 12 News. Snow is still coming down. I just want to give you a better idea of how much we've had already. This is our mirror from our live truck, and you can see the snow right here. So that's about as much as it's accumulated so far. And you can still see a lot of snow on the ground, on the grass here. But on the roads, it's a different story. They're mainly just wet. So VDOT workers are still out on the roads putting sand and putting salt on there just in case. Now, they do want to warn people, if you're going over a bridge or overpass, to use extra caution because some of this water could actually turn into ice. So they want to make sure that people are very careful on their way to work or on their way to school. Of course, we'll continue to bring you the latest updates as far as what VDOT workers are doing to make sure that these roads are clear and safe. For now, 11 Short Pump, I'm Tayleigh Davis for NBC 12 News.
trophies still stand unharmed after a large gust of wind blew the roof off at Cheer Fusion Gym and left nothing but rubble inside.
When I saw the window bust, I just ran inside and I looked through the mirror and I saw the garage, and then just everything came.
Megan and her friends were cheering on the floor right in the middle of the building when heavy rain and eventually hail started nailing the metal roof.
So it sounds like someone's like shooting at your door.
Director Mandy Spina could actually feel the wind blowing through the cracks in the garage. She rushed all 12 cheerleaders into this interior room.
We did it at the right time because give or take 5 seconds and those kids would have been on the floor. They were right where all of that rubble is.
The only place that is standing was where we were. Nothing else is there.
A true miracle. Some of the adults were badly injured when they tried saving the girls, including one dad who suffered broken bones when he was buried under the rubble.
He's pretty banged up. He's a trooper, and he definitely saved a lot of kids last night.
The wind was so strong that it tore the roof off of this gym and flung it onto an elderly couple's home, shifting their foundation.
They're going to be fine. Further down Fleming Street, Heather Fry is just glad no one was hurt after the storm ripped the roof right off her husband's store.
It's pretty devastating. We're small business owners.
Yeah.
Like this was everything that we worked for, and it's everything that we have, and it's destroyed. And luckily no lives were taken and we're all safe. So I mean, we do have some things to be thankful for.
Including the outpour of support from friends and family for everyone on Fleming Street cleaning up.
Right now, 2 adults are in the hospital, but luckily they're all going to be okay. I'm Tayleigh Davis for NBC 12 News.
Donna Robertson lost her legs and portions of her hands following a reaction to a bad infection in 2009. She says learning how to walk again with prosthetics wasn't easy, but watching Oscar Pistorius take racing to a whole new level lifts her spirits.
I just can't say enough about Oscar, and I'm sure everybody's just speechless about what he's accomplished.
Sheltering Arms physical therapist Amy Crawford helped Robertson recover back in 2009.
I miss you guys.
Crawford says Donna's attitude helped catapult her to a recovery.
She was very, very positive. I never heard anything negative out of her at all. She would come every day willing to work harder than anyone.
Unlike the Olympian who grew up with prosthetics, Robertson had to learn from scratch the balance and strength of walking. The former elementary school music teacher says Oscar's drive has helped keep her on the right track.
I told my husband last night, I need to push myself harder after I saw him.
She hopes to strengthen her good leg, which is her left leg, and eventually walk without a cane.
I didn't do it because I was trying to impress anybody. I just did it because it was something I had to do.
Similar to the Blade Runner, he says he delights in nothing more than fans like Robertson. She's inspired more by his ability than his disability.
I couldn't have done it on my own. It was the Sheltering Arms people who allowed me to live the life I lead now, and it makes me almost want to cry.
And Robertson is still going through some physical therapy to gain her strength. Right now, she just has her eyes set on watching Oscar compete in the 4x400 meter relays. I'm Tayleigh Davis for NBC 12 News. Cleanup continues for storm-ravaged Alabama after deadly tornadoes swept across the state, killing more than 350 people, leaving at least 500 unaccounted for. Raycom News Network Steve Onosorge is live in Blunsville, Alabama, to show us how this town is trying to recover. Steve, the death toll from the storms that swept through the southern part of the country Thursday continues to rise. We have some aerial shots over Tuscaloosa. You can see where homes and businesses are leveled to the ground. At least 359 people have died in the nation's deadliest tornado outbreak in almost 40 years. Authorities estimate thousands of people were injured in that storm that demolished several cities from Alabama all the way through Virginia. The mayor of Tuscaloosa says hundreds are still missing after this week's tornadoes.
Although
All right, that sounds good. Thanks, Jay. We have new video in from northeast Alabama where the storms decimated buildings, splintered wood, and destroyed homes in Huckleberg, Alabama. Vicious tornadoes tore through much of the South this week. The powerful storm killed 29 people in a town of 1,600. The storms destroyed almost every business in the city, the doctor's office, the pharmacy, a ball field. From there, the tornado traveled more than 39 miles across 3 counties, according to the National Weather Service. As people cleaned up, some lucky ones were able to find their pets alive in all that rubble and debris.
Flooding in northeast Arkansas has closed down the small town of Pocahontas. In this video provided by the Department of Defense, the town looks like it's sitting in the middle of a big lake. The Black River, which runs through the town of more than 6,000 people, has left its banks and swamped neighborhoods and businesses. The Arkansas National Guard took the governor on an aerial tour of the flooded region on Friday. Prescription drug abuse is a growing problem all across America and even in South Georgia. Sylvester Police joined other law enforcement agencies across the nation in setting up a pill take-back event. WALB's Josh Caldwell joins us live in the studio after his visit to the drop site in Sylvester. Dog lovers gathered in Sylvester today to take part in Bark in the Park. There were dogs and people everywhere at the Best Friends Humane Society's event. Organizers held a beauty contest and the best tail wagger contest. While most people brought in their own pet, the goal was to find homes for those animals. The Humane Society currently does not have a shelter and relies on host homes to keep most of those animals.
We've got over 60 dogs, homes for them.
The day was already a success by lunchtime as 2 dogs were adopted. There were still plenty more in need of a good home. Another group of animal lovers were set up here in Albany today. The Terrell County Humane Society held a pet adoption outside the Tractor Supply Company. Terrell County is without an animal shelter, so it relies on volunteers to house many of the animals they take in. Shoppers stopped by to look at those dogs. For those interested in pet adoption, you can visit our website at WALB.com. You can look for the Terrell County Pet Adoption story. All right, sounds good, Shane. Thank you.
No problem.
Great. You can find more news, weather, and sports at WALB.com. Thanks so much for watching.